Okay, so this was news I was not expecting today. Hey, what's up everyone, it's me, SpeedSuperSonic, bringing us another video, and in this video today, yes, you read the title right, Iizuka has essentially confirmed that we are going to be getting new year of different Sonic characters. If you guys have been living under a rock, last year in 2024 was the year of Shadow. We haven't really received a year of a character since Sonic in 2014, and we saw how that went. It's really funny that the only time a year of for a Sonic character has worked was when it wasn't about Sonic himself. It was a onslaught of Shadow. It was the movie, it was Sonic X Shadow Generations, it was him popping up in different animations and promotions and events. It was super sick, especially as a Shadow fan, him being my personal favorite Sonic character. It was the natural move to make Shadow, outside of Sonic, is the most popular character in the franchise and only has become more so over time, and that has kind of opened the door to people asking, are we going to receive year ofs for other characters? And honestly, for the longest time I've been asked this in comments, live streams, in person even, hey Ricardo, do you think we're going to get year of for this character or this character? And I have said no. I didn't think that we were going to, even if there was a Knuckles Season 2 or a Knuckles game, I don't think there would be a, Knuckles year. I thought genuinely the reason they did it for Shadow is because it is easy and smart to do so because of how popular he already is. But I have been proven wrong because in a recent interview, Iizuka has stated that they do indeed plan on doing year of for characters specifically when they get a movie appearance. Let's dive into this article from the Sonic Stadium talking about it right now. Takashi Iizuka hints at year of Amy Rose with more special spotlights for Sonic characters in new interview. Takashi Iizuka has expressed in a new interview that he would like to explore special spotlights for various Sonic characters in the same vein as Sega's Year of Shadow promotion that the company ran last year. Speaking at a stage interview at Brazil Game Show, the creative head of the Sonic brand mentioned Year of Shadow and how he'd like to choose a theme each year and spotlight different characters, pointing to the movies to offer hints at who else might be given the limelight. Sonic the Hedgehog 4 releases next year and introduces Amy Rose and Metal Sonic to the movie universe, so there's every chance it could be one of these characters. Last year we promoted the Year of Shadow, influenced by the movie, but I'd like to choose a theme each year and spotlight different characters, Iizuka said. Translated via Genki on social media, I think we can predict which characters will appear in the upcoming movie, so I'd like those characters to play an active role. That is insane, and there's a lot that we can actually kind of pick out of that. Yes, obviously, Sonic Movie 4 is coming out. He specifies that it's going to kind of correlate with what character is going to be appearing in the movies, and as of right now, we know that we are getting Amy and Metal Sonic, and I think that's all the new characters we can expect. Maybe they'll drop in small characters who have very small roles. I don't know. There's a chance that they could try to do big, a chance they can maybe do chaotics. I don't think that it's definitive that Amy and Metal Sonic are going to be the only characters, but I think they're going to be the most significant. Metal Sonic is clearly, in some kind of form, going to be the antagonist of 4, and Amy is going to be the new friend of Sonic and friends in the movie. But when Iizuka talks about this, he's speaking about multiple characters and spotlighting them in particular. So would it be a Year of Amy, which I think you can do, especially with that character being in such limbo right now. We'll get into that. I think it's a really good opportunity to just focus on that character and kind of flesh her out a bit. But Metal Sonic is also in there as well. Remember, both of these characters were introduced in the same game. They share the same birthday, essentially. I think there's a chance that they could do a hybrid. It could be the Year of Amy and Metal Sonic. We see that Sega isn't afraid to put those characters together. The Sonic Mania Adventures Christmas special, you see them have their own episode together. I think that there's a lot of potential for those two to work together if you're going to do a Year of character. And if I had to be a betting man, it's either going to be that or just a Year of Amy. But I'm kind of leaning towards them maybe doing both characters because both are going to be having pretty large roles in the movie. More the merrier. I do not think it would just be Metal Sonic. I think it would be kind of tone deaf if you were to be like, it's the Year of Metal Sonic, like as if the logo for 4 isn't colored after Amy. I mean, she's clearly going to play a large role in the film, and I think there's an opportunity to do a lot more with her now, outside of just the movies, obviously. What else could we receive with these characters? Because surely they're already kind of planning something here. I don't think it's a coincidence at all that we received Shadow Generations alongside movie 3. I think Sega long in advance knew that movie 3 would be releasing in December of 2024, and that they had plenty of time to get a little mini Shadow game and Shadow Generations ready for release around then. Actually, it's not really mini. I think it's actually longer than the original Sonic Generations, and dare I say better. So I don't think that they're going to do Amy generations or Metal Sonic generations. Heck, I don't even know if they're going to have a significant presence in whatever game might release the year that Movie 4 releases. Especially with Movie 4 releasing in March of 2027, and then Sonic games typically releasing in the fall of that year. Sega and Paramount were kind of able to benefit off of that with 3. I think that this release date, it doesn't make it essential for you to have a game that correlates so closely to the movie. It's hard for me to even talk about what we could potentially get in 2027 because we don't even exactly know what we're going to get in 2026 yet. I'm putting money on us getting the Frontier sequel, the next mainline game next year, but at the same time, there's still so much we don't even know yet. There could be other games they have planned, God only knows. What I do know is that I really hope that they do give these characters justice in the same way that they gave Shadow. I know you can't do as much, and I think that's something that fans will have to come to expect, is that regardless of them getting a year or not, they're still not of the same stature as a Shadow the Hedgehog. They're gonna get a bigger push than usual. There's still gonna be some really cool stuff, but I wouldn't expect, you know, like these small animations. I wouldn't expect, you know, them making all of these giant game appearances and them, you know, being the faces of X or Y or Z. Shadow can do that because of the reverence that the, you know, cultural zeitgeist right now has for that character. Like I said earlier, Amy is a character, specifically Metal Sonic not as much because he's a robot, has just been stuck in character purgatory, and I just have to state that. I know a lot of people love Amy and love the recent portrayal of her, but I do think that the character in the past did need to be abandoned. I do think it's very dated and has a really, in my opinion, weird implications and questionable writing. That is a version of Amy that they needed to move off of, and I'm happy they did so, but what she's been replaced with almost is a little too stoic, is a little too just dry. I'm not a big fan of recent Amy portrayals, if I'm being honest. The character is just so bland. Honestly, the best version of Amy, ironically, is Boom Amy, the most confused, annoying branch of the Sonic franchise. Probably my favorite version of her. So what I'm hoping is that Movie 4, like every other Sonic movie he's done, is give the definitive version of these characters, specifically Amy. I need them to get her right. I think this character is in need of a refresh, completely tweak so much of the stuff that works, throw it out, find different ways to make this character function in the 21st century, and not make the character so confused just based off of her appearance and the way that she moves in that end credit scene. I 100% believe that this character is going to be different from what we typically see. I just hope they do a good job. But it doesn't end at 4. There's plenty of opportunity for more different year of characters, and they specify movies, so I think that is Iizuka kind of saying that they really want to do more movies beyond 4, which I have said, if they don't do a 5, I'm going to kill myself. And in 5, I think we all know the move from there. There's been reports about it, I don't know how true they are, but it also just seems like the logical next step. 5 has to be Silver. I think the next big, massive character that does have a lot of fan appeal, you're seeing a massive push for this character. I have said forever now, they need to do Silver for 5. There's no other option. There's no other character you can do for 5. Yes, Silver comes from Sonic 06, a game that is not well loved, but also you have to remember the general audience, like who's going to see this movie, doesn't really care about Sonic 06 or probably even knows what that game is or the impact it's had on the franchise in gaming. They're going to see a cool ultra-powered Hedgehog character that is going to go head-to-head with Sonic, Shadow. You'd be a fool to think that Sega has not seen the recent love that Silver as a character has been getting. They have to do more with him. He's one of the main characters in the Sonic X DC crossover going on right now. Clearly it's a character that Sega is not afraid to touch. I think Silver very clearly was supposed to be one of the next big characters that the Sonic brand saw. You kind of look at the history of those first appearances. Silver technically, I know, isn't the last, but the last real Sonic character who I think could be a part of that main cast and continue on for generations and has that iconic appeal. Silver, when you really think about it, was our last real main addition to the Sonic cast, so I think if you do Silver Story, you could really go out on a bang, or at least set up for a really cool place to go into the future, and not just with the movies, but other stuff as well. I think a lot of people want to see Silver playable again in a game. He has so much gameplay potential and so much story potential. There's so much you can do with Silver. I genuinely think there's as much that you could do with Silver as you can Shadow. It's just unfortunate because Silver was introduced in a game that was not nearly as well received as Sonic Adventure 2. There's a lot of stuff working not in Silver's favor, like the fact he's never appeared in a TV show before. You know, Shadow was able to be in Sonic X, Boom, and Sonic Prime as of recent. You know, Silver was introduced after Sonic X ended, and then Boom was this entire new sub-franchise where they didn't feel the need to introduce him because of time travel and all that. And then Prime, with it being, you know, show, a cross-dimensional, almost kind of time travel-y show. Like, Silver can't work in that kind of story environment. He's in comics, he still receives merchandise like we said, he's in that DCX Sonic crossover, so they try to find a way to make Silver work when he can, but he's clearly not a priority for the brand. I think, genuinely, they need to focus in on this character and find a way to make him work, because I think they're sitting on a gold mine with Silver that they just haven't fully cracked yet. Shadow is just already a cracked gold mine waiting to have the rewards be reaped that they never did for whatever reason. And shocker once when they did, look at how they're doing now. Sonic, Tails, and Knuckles will always be our trio. I know they're trying to make like the quadruple thing happen with Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, and Amy, but you're almost seeing the franchise now kind of pushing in the direction of Sonic and Shadow being a duo, which has been really interesting to see. I think if they take Silver seriously, do a year of Silver, in 10 years from now, I don't think it would be uncommon to once again see that 06 trio as Sonic, Shadow, and Silver be the figureheads of the franchise, and really everybody's favorite characters who get the most representation. I love Tails, I love Knuckles, I love Amy, sometimes. I swear, I'm not trying to be an Amy hater, but it's really hard for me to enjoy her character right now. In fact, Silver is very much so like Amy. They're still trying to figure him out. Why I'm so excited to see Silver in this hypothetical 5, like I am Amy in 4, is because of the potential of where they could go with the character. Don't think I'm giving Silver a pass. This is a character that has been stuck in this weird purgatory as well. They do not know what to do with this character at all. In a similar way like Amy, they just use Amy more. You know, even though Sonic 06 is my favorite Sonic game, Silver's annoying as hell, and his voice is so grating in that game. I don't think his voice is nearly as terrible anymore. He sounds like a generic white dude, and not like one that's getting like his balls castrated.
Ow! Whoa! Witness my power!
But also they're trying to find a new personality for him. They're reworking that character entirely. If you read the IDW comics, Silver is nothing like 06 Silver. He is a completely different character. And I think that really works for him, and I hope that's the direction they take with his character, and they don't just take the super ultra stoic, I'm from the future, I must protect my future route. I want to see a definitive version of Silver, which is why I love these movies so much. But back to this though, I'm really happy at the end of the day that Iizuka said this, because I think this is something that we all want. This is something that I think these characters need. And with us getting Amy and Metal Sonic in 4, and then I think the natural next step in 5 being Silver, these characters could very well receive their year ofs. And I just can't wait. I can't wait to see it. I am so excited. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. What do you guys want to see from a future year of Sonic characters? Not just for Amy and Metal Sonic or potentially Silver. Who else do you want to see receive their own year? Anyways, just let me know what you guys want and expect and are hoping to see in the comment section down below. I'd love to know what you guys have to say. Feel free to follow my social media links to my Twitter and Instagram in the description below. You can follow those for behind the scenes look at my life, future content, and all things Sonic the Hedgehog. But most importantly, if you're not subscribed, make sure that you are subscribed. This is the #1 destination on YouTube for all things Sonic. Whether it's video games, TV shows, movies, comics, merchandise, and more, we talk about it all. I have so many amazing videos in the works for you guys. I cannot wait to deliver you guys some really awesome content. We have video essays, merch videos, all of this stuff, and a massive project, hopefully coming by the end of the year. I love all you so much, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.
And be right by the motherfucking seaside, dog. Everything I see, I got a dream. I thought these leaves would go and take me out the dark. I know everything I wanted to follow with me.